Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got another meal prep video for you guys today, and I've tried to incorporate some new meals, for example this one here. So I've got some seafood highlighter chopped up into little bits. I've got some yuzu Japanese Kewpie mayo, some avocado that I've also chopped up, and one whole lemon juice that I've squeezed in. I didn't add any salt into this, but you can add some if you like. I essentially mix it all together, and I've turned my one into a salad, so basically served on top of some iceberg lettuce with some cherry tomatoes. Alternatively, you can turn this into a filling for some rice paper rolls. That's why I've got some chopped lettuce, some boiled vermicelli noodles, and some rice paper rolls here. You can see my partner prefers the rice paper roll version. I prefer the salad version because it's just easier and a little bit lighter. So that's my first meal prep. Now, this is a instant noodle that I recently bought just to give it a go. I think it's pronounced as chopgetti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I halved this with my partner and cooked a sunny side up egg. And this is another meal prep idea. I've got some onions, capsicum, and mushrooms cut up. I also grabbed some diced lamb chunks, which were on sale, and the Mongolian lamb sauce, which I purchased in one of my other grocery hauls when it was on sale. I've added a little bit of olive oil just to cook down the onions and capsicum because the lambs are relatively lean, so there's not much fat coming out of it compared to when I'm cooking a fatty protein like chicken thighs or mincemeat. So I'm just cooking that down a little bit as well. After it's pretty much like 80% cooked, I add in the mushrooms and add in the sauce, mix that through and let it cook down for another couple of minutes. And I like to serve this on top of some steamed white rice. Alternatively, you can serve this with some noodles as well. And this week, because lettuce was so cheap, I decided to make a lot of salads. I've just got some grilled chicken here, some Parmigiano cheese, tomatoes, and garlic aioli. And this is a separate meal prep idea. I'm just cooking down the chicken thighs, no oil because chicken thigh is quite fatty. Got some capsicum, some frozen green beans, carrots, onions, and the lemon chicken sauce from the Lee Kum Kee brand. Just ignore the veggies on the side. That's for a separate meal prep. So once I've cooked the chicken, I dice it up, and as you guys can see, there's quite a bit of fat that's come out of the chicken thighs. That's why I don't add oil. I use the chicken fat as an oil replacement. So I chuck in the carrots and the onions just to cook that down a bit more because I prefer those veggies a little bit more on the softer end. And then I toss in the frozen green beans and capsicum a little bit closer to the end. And then to finish it off, I just add the lemon chicken sauce. Now, this particular sauce doesn't really have much color to it. It's kind of like a translucent sauce with a bit of a yellow tinge to it, and I just serve that on some white rice. As you guys can see here, I've got some shepherd's pie mix. I grabbed some beef mince from the freezer. As you guys can see here, you can use lamb or beef mince. I know I always refer to this as a shepherd's pie, but Peck always lets me know it's a cottage pie because I am using beef mince. So I start by sauteing my carrots and onions with a little bit of water. Then I add in the beef mince just to cook that down. Now, I don't think I defrosted enough beef mince because this is mainly carrot with a little beef mince, but that's okay. I'm going to get some more veggies in this meal. After the veggies and the meat's predominantly cooked, I add in the shepherd's pie seasoning and some water. As you guys can see, that's cooked down to a nice thick sauce, and that gets served on top of some mashed potato. And this is another instant noodle that I purchased from the Asian grocer because I thought it sounded interesting, potato noodle soup. Now, it pretty much tasted like normal instant noodles, except it was a little bit more on the chewy side. And surprisingly, the broth was quite spicy, even though it doesn't look spicy, but nonetheless, pretty good. And this is another instant noodle that I got from the Asian grocer. I went on an instant noodle rampage this week. So that noodle I wanted to buy because I've seen a lot of YouTubers eat it, and I think it's vegan. It was super delicious. I served a little bit of seafood highlighter on the side as well, and I will purchase this one again. It was so good. So in this clip here, I've just got some chopped carrots and chopped onions. I'm going to be making quite an interesting dish. I don't think I've shown you guys this one before. I've also got some old rice that I had in the fridge, which I wanted to use up, and some ginger. So this is the star of the show, Century eggs. Now, I don't think I'll be buying that particular brand again because it wasn't good and I pretty much threw away 3 out of the 6 eggs. Nonetheless, this is the stock. I've got some pho stock cubes in here with some onions, carrot, pork meatballs, and some Century eggs. I generally like Century eggs, but this particular brand I really disliked because 3 out of the 6 eggs were pretty much inedible, so I threw it in the bin, and I'm quite upset about that because these eggs were expensive, $8 for 6 eggs. But enough about my rant. That's what the Century egg looks like on the outside, and then when I peel it, it's got a very dark interior. I'll just show you guys in the next clip. So as you can see, it's quite gelatinous on the outside, and the yolk inside is quite large. This is a preserved duck egg, not a chicken egg. So yeah, if you're not brave enough to give this a go in terms of cooking it at home, you can purchase a small bowl of Century egg congee at Yum Cha to try before purchasing the eggs and experimenting with it yourself at home. So this is what the finished product looks like. I decided to add on a little bit of pepper towards the end, which made the congee more fragrant. And I just wanted to share this clip for you guys. This is the prawn shumai that I bought from the Asian grocer. You guys would have seen this in my grocery haul. It was tasty, but it's very small and a bit on the pricey end, so I don't think I'll be buying the shumai again. This is another instant noodle video I wanted to add on to this clip. I've got some mama shrimp noodles. I've got some frozen prawns I grabbed from the freezer, some beef balls that I would have got from an Asian grocer, tomato, egg, and some cauliflower. Whenever I eat instant noodles, I love to add in some veggies and some proteins just to amp up the nutritional value a little bit, because as we all know, instant noodles aren't exactly healthy, but they're so tasty and so easy to cook. So as you can see here, I try my very best to add more veggies in to make it a little bit more of a well-rounded meal. So that is the finished product. Now I've got a bonus video at the end for those who love my budget meals. So I'm in the process of working on an emergency budget meal video. This is kind of just like a sneak preview. I've got some mushrooms, some garlic, onion, and some frozen udon noodles, which I grabbed from the freezer. I generally purchase those from Costco if you're interested. So I start by sauteing my mushrooms and I lightly season it with a little bit of salt whilst it cooks down. Now in this next clip here, you guys are going to see it gets really brown and the color's kind of yucky, but that's fine because the coloring actually helps with my noodles because my noodles are pale white. So I also add in a dash of milk just to turn that mushroom goodness into a sauce, and that's what the finished product looks like. A little bit on the not aesthetic end, but it was really tasty and I love making this. And if you are vegan, you can substitute the milk for some vegan alternatives like maybe oat milk. I think almond milk, the flavor might be a bit too intense. So if you're vegan, I recommend using oat milk instead of almond milk. Thanks for watching, guys.